What's going on, guys? I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Hustle Talk podcast. In today's episode, I'm here with Coach Jonathan, and I have a very special guest. He is the general manager at DuPage, our neighbors right here in Villa Park. His name is Garrett Gajewski. What's going on, Garrett? Welcome to the party today. Good. I'm super happy you're here. We have a jam-packed episode today. Garrett's here talking about all things softball, all things baseball. He runs the show over at, no pun intended, MLB, the show, that the video game. He runs the show over at DBAT, and he works with young athletes on a daily and weekly basis. And so he sees a lot of young athletes that play softball and baseball, to say the least. So Garrett, what's going on, man? Welcome.
Not much, first time podcast. I'm
excited. There we go. Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, well, hey, we're new to the game too, so it's all good. So let's jump straight into it. Tell me about yourself. What baseball? Tell me about your playing days. To me everything.
Yeah, baseball started when I was 5. Played travel ball for about 4 years. And then went to high school. Went to Lake Park High School. I know a lot of Lancers come here.
Oh yeah.
And work out. Yeah. Played 4 years there. 2 on varsity, and then won a regional championship there, and then was lucky enough to play 2 years of college ball at Aurora University.
Nice.
Before getting hurt, and then we won 2 conference championships. 1 year we were two wins away from the College World Series.
Cool. Okay.
So
So you have a winning experience, it seems, with some baseball then, huh?
Been on some winning teams.
Okay.
Been on one of the worst Lake Park teams too. But in that game, I've been on both. You know?
Turned it around.
Yeah. Totally. So I know the struggle and I know the highs and lows.
Totally. So when did you start playing baseball?
5.
5 years old?
Yeah.
And then you played until when? College?
21.
21? Okay.
Yeah.
So you
still play today, even though I'm in the men's league. Been playing that for 7 years now.
Okay. So you played sports. You played up until college. So you played 16 years of actual baseball, and then you've been still playing casually.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So now you've been running DBAT for how long?
3 years.
You've been running DBAT for 3 years over there. What is DBAT?
So DBAT, what it stands for is developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions. Little bit of what we do around there is, we got machine cages for just the general public. We do lessons, we do camps, we do clinics. We have a fully stocked pro shop now
that looks sweet. That's the Rawlings right there.
Yeah, Rawlings. Right now we got fully stocked with DBAT stuff, Rawlings and Easton. So that's new. That's about a week old now. And we're really excited about that just because we got a ton of high-end stuff now.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. It looks nice.
It's legit.
When I went in there to ask them to do this podcast, they were starting to set up, and it looks sweet. You guys got to head over there. So now, developing beliefs, attitudes, traditions. That was a refresher for me. I like that one. So who exactly do you work with? What's the target market looking like?
So the target market is 7 to 12 right now. Okay. High school kids, we're getting better at that, because we started 3 years ago, and some in high school, a lot of kids have their facility, their trainers already, which is fine. But now we're getting even better at that.
Sweet.
But like I said, target 7 to 12. Really start them young, and then just develop them and go from there.
Cool.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like our youth program a little bit. It's like starting really young.
A lot of similarities with that. So we're doing, obviously, you guys with strength and speed and agility, but he works with 7 to 12 years old. Speaking of so we work with the athletes on the speed, agility, strength end. Talk to me more about the services that you guys offer. How do you help these 7 to 12 year olds?
Yeah. So me personally, I think a big proponent of baseball and softball is getting lessons.
Yeah.
Starting from scratch, all of our softball instructors have played college ball. Everybody on our baseball side, instructor-wise, has played college or pro.
Sweet.
And I'm lucky enough, I just hired 2 new instructors, but outside of that, I'm very lucky that all of our instructors have been with me for 2+ years already.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that is, I couldn't be any more thankful because I don't have to do anything new, whether it's new clients. Everybody knows, hey, I like Jason James, I like Desi Irizarry, I like Tiffany Pottis, Neil Groff.
I think that shows a little bit about you. It's like your coaches and instructors believe in you and trust in you, so they want to stick with you. It's like,
yes, exactly. Even my front desk. I've had 3 or 4 of them that I've stayed with a year and a half.
Yeah,
that's a part-time job.
And when we've been over there, it seems like a fun place to be. It's an exciting work environment. I can see why coaches stick with you. It's like fun to be around.
Right.
You get to play baseball for a living. It's like
business and sports. You can't take it. You can't
absolutely. And especially in this like industry of giving lessons and stuff like that, I've seen. I've been at a different location over in Carroll Stream, and the turnover of the instructors was very, very like. It didn't last. We weren't there for 3 years. There was a couple guys that were there for a while, but like the other people are just coming and going. Yeah. So the fact that they like to work there says a lot.
Yeah, you just gotta be big on continuity, and just.
And to be honest with you, like now this is like on the top of my head right now. So when I tell people about DBAT, when they ask me what it is, something I've said, I don't know if you've heard me explain it. Yeah. I say it's the Ferrari of batting cages.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and because it's when you think of batting cages, you think dirty, you think like unorganized, you just think like, oh, let's just throw the ball and play. But no, when you walk into this place, it's the opposite. It's clean, it's dirty. There's a beautiful Rawling. There's a beautiful pro shop before you even walk into the place. Plus, you guys are expanding, so there's a lot and those cages are like beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Big, long.
You got TV screens up top. You got there's a lot going on. So I mean that's something that when people ask me what is it, what's the difference, I just to keep it simple I say that. Yeah. And I'm big on comparing things to like Honda Civics and Ferraris. So it's like there's.
You can tell there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to keep that place clean and up to date with new equipment and new balls and new bats and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that you guys are remodeling to add the pro shop and now expanding to this extra space, it's like it shows a lot that there's a lot of effort going on behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So now you
keep up the good work.
Yes, absolutely, good stuff. So now, like I said, you see tons of youth baseball and softball players every week. Okay, whether you work with them for lessons or whether they're just walking through your door.
Right.
What does it take to be a successful baseball and softball player?
I mean, commitment.
Okay.
Commitment's big. Obviously, practicing. Baseball and softball, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that other sports aren't hard, but in baseball and softball, 3 out of 10 is pretty good. That's a 300 batting average.
Absolutely. That'll get you millions.
And it'll get you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And scholarships. But I think those two are the biggest things because if you take any rep off, the game will bite you.
Yeah.
And I just really think that whatever you put into it, the game will give it back to you.
100%. That
I believe that goes for a lot of things. Beyond sports.
Right.
One of
life,
a simple
career.
Yeah. Like a simple quote that I like to just keep in the front of my head is you get in what you put out.
Exactly.
And anything you get in to the effort you put out, of course, but you get into the commitment you make. You get into the practices that you just not only show up to, but the practices that you show up to and get better.
Right.
So that's huge. That's huge.
Can we get into we asked what does it take to be a successful baseball or softball player? When athletes come in here and we ask them, what's going on tonight? What do you got after this? Baseball and softball are some of the craziest schedules I've heard in sports. It's like they either have something before school, like a workout, hitting lesson, something like that. Then they go to school, and then after school they usually come here to work out, and then I can think of like 3 athletes off the top of my head that say, what do you got next? I'm going to DBAT right after this. I got my hitting instructor going on. Garrett's coaching me up.
Yeah.
And then after that, they got to go to team practice. It's like they don't get home till 9:30 p.m. at night.
There was a girl that just worked out today. She said she wasn't getting home till 11.
Yeah.
It's
so insane.
That is insane. Like I just had a kid today, 3:30 for a lesson. He's 9 years old. 3:30 for a lesson. Changed that in the bathroom at our academy, and then went straight to a game.
Oh, man. What kind of game?
Fall game.
Fall?
So real game. Not practice or anything.
Totally.
But wanted to get in a quick lesson. He's a constant there.
Okay.
Mainstay, and then just go straight to his game. And on top of that, he has other things, whether it's school, or in-house game, homework, all that.
Yeah.
You know.
There's no time for any of that.
No, there isn't.
No, that's like. I want to ask your opinion on this, but like, what do you think is the correct time for a kid to start committing to like a travel baseball team?
That's a good question. I don't think there's an exact time per se. Like I can't give you like a definitive answer.
Yeah.
I think it's whenever the player's ready.
Yeah. Depends.
Some 8-year-olds are there's 8U travel. You know, some 8-year-olds are ahead of other 8-year-olds. You know, so I mean, if your kid is ready for 8-year-old travel ball, for sure, go for it. You know, I didn't start playing travel ball till I was 11.
Yeah.
Okay. I was 11 to 14, and then that was 4 years, and then I went to high school. I never played fall ball. We'll probably get into that, but yeah, I took some time off.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's just really about the player, and because better competition, all that.
Yeah, it varies
Yes,
depending
it
on the
does.
kid. Like my answer would be similar to like when you started. It'd be like 12. I think is like the perfect age to start committing to something like that. It gives the kid plenty of time to kind of figure out what they really enjoy and what sports they want to commit to.
Exactly.
Before just kind of the parent throwing them in. All right, you're 7 years old now. Go play on this travel team 365 days of the year. You know, so I think 12. I think is the sweet spot that I've seen where kids have enough time to develop and are at a mature enough age to commit to a team like that.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, so in terms of like the competitive year, there's something I have here. It's like I have no problem with a 9 to 14-year-old kid playing 4 to 5 months of baseball a year.
Yeah.
As long as the other 7 to 8 months are dedicated to playing maybe 1 or 2 other sports. So it's all about, especially at that age, it's about long-term athletic development. And not only in the gym, not speaking about the gym, I'm talking about just long-term, just motor skills, learning. Like baseball will, like playing another sport, whether it's football, soccer, basketball, that will help you become a better athlete. So I think definitely just, especially 9 to 14 years old, you just commit 4 months of dedicating to your baseball season.
Right.
And then in the off season, you play another sport, you strength train year round in addition to getting better at your sport. When that season comes back around, that 5 years between 9 to 14, you're going to become a better athlete.
Right.
You know, and then, at 15 to 16 years old, then maybe, baseball will obviously occupy 7 to 8 months of the year. But again, you can still play other sports and strength training year round.
Right.
And this goes, go ahead.
Sorry. And I think that's huge, whether you're 8 years old, whether you're 18 years old. I read a book. It's called Future Value. I believe it's by like Eric Logenhagen. I think he's a writer for ESPN. And it's called Future Value, and they want players to play other sports. One, obviously, it works out other muscles, in your body to develop, strengthen, all that. And then I saw another cool quote. So it was like football, basketball, wrestling, and hockey were the ones where, whether it's scouts, like pro scouts, you know, because it was a professional book, but like pro scouts are looking at like, hey, how athletic are you? How strong? Like, what other sports are you doing? What other parts of the body that you're working out and getting strengthening outside of baseball? Because if you're just doing baseball workouts, you're maybe only focusing. If you're just a pitcher, maybe you're just focusing on your legs and your arms.
We've seen some unathletic pitchers.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
So from a personal standpoint, I agree 100% because there was coaches coming to my basketball practices when I was in high school to scout me for football.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd tell that.
So like I say that every time. It's like I tell that to parents. Like there was a coach came to watch my basketball practice, and they came to a game because they wanted to see how I played the game of basketball. And then to like a more larger scale, every Super Bowl that plays, leading up to the media days, they talk about all the players that played multiple sports.
Right.
90% of these guys played 3-sport athletes. Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, baseball.
They got drafted.
They could be in the MLB right now.
Kyler Murray was a first-round draft pick.
Am I missing anybody else?
There's a few more.
There's a few more right now, but
you can even go the other way. Frank Thomas with football, Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere.
Athletes are athletes.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
They'll be dominant at whatever they choose.
And even every kid's not going to be Pat Mahomes, but Pat Mahomes was playing multiple sports when he was 9 years old.
He's setting the example.
So he's setting the example, and I feel like more parents should embrace that opportunity.
Right.
And this is a very hot topic right now. It's called early sports specialization.
Yes.
You know, it's like that's a very hot topic around like youth development and youth programs.
Yeah.
Is these kids are it's starting at an earlier and earlier age where kids are committing to youth travel teams and full year-round sports. And because of this, they're not developing as well.
No.
You know, we're seeing injuries at an earlier age because they're only doing one sport. You know, can you imagine just being a pitcher for 1 year straight and just pitching, not doing anything else? Some of the best athletes, like we just mentioned, have played basketball or baseball or football all together and have developed all these different motor skills and made their bodies completely resilient.
Yeah, you know? And I coached high school baseball at Lake Park for 5 years, and I remember some of our athletes, I just want to focus on baseball, coach. I'm like, no, don't. You want to go play football? Go play football. You want to go play basketball? Go play basketball. He goes, coach, what if I get hurt? I'm like, don't worry about that.
You can get hurt going to baseball.
You could trip down the stairs in school. You know, so like go. We don't want any early sport specialization.
I love it.
Just go do what you love to do outside of baseball, outside of softball, gymnastics, whatever. Go be more athletic, train your body, use it all.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with parents before. It's like, when is the right time to commit to one sport? You know, like when does an athlete decide, okay, I want to play in college, that's my ultimate goal, and you'd be like, okay, well, you know, when you commit to that.
Personally,
I would say like sophomore year of high school, freshman year, junior year, somewhere around there.
Junior.
Yeah.
I'd say junior year.
That's when I did it. That's when I committed.
I say you play all year round. I say you play your sports until you're done.
Yeah.
I played basketball after I had a scholarship after football season. Another perfect example for this. I know you guys both know this girl, and you know she'll probably listen to this podcast. Kayla Barbonente committed to Penn State. She's still playing volleyball. You know what I mean? So
and
basketball. And softball. So she's a 3-sport athlete. She's still getting opportunities. She's still developing as an athlete after she committed. So that's like the perfect example to, you know, just not committing to a certain to one sport while still, you know, committing to play at a Big Ten school. So that's like
on a scholarship.
So let's use Kayla as another example. Is like she didn't single sport specialize at all.
No.
You know, I remember her since she was in 6th, 7th grade, and she was still playing those sports.
Talking about crazy schedule, she's the one who.
So, absolutely. So I mean, if a kid wants to go all in, and it's like it's junior year, sophomore, junior year, that's fine. But I mean, the model's there for multi-sport athletes.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm going to talk about this. I really wanted to talk. Like, this is something I have. Does this sound familiar? Okay. So kids are playing baseball with too much rest. I think, you know, personally, I've seen 12 to 13-year-olds, and I know you probably have too, play as many baseball games as big leaguers, and I really don't understand why. Now, something has to change with that because that leads to a lot of overuse injuries. We have kids that are, you know, 12, 13 years old that here getting surgery on their elbows and stuff. Tendinitis, their elbows. They're going to physical therapy for their elbow. I'm like, so MLB pitchers, they pitch on a 5-day rotation. Now, little leaguers, you know, I think we said it was 100 innings would be like an average for a season, a good a threshold for a season. Is that, what do you think?
For the summer, for the summer it could be even
112
less.
or one.
Could be even less,
okay.
honestly.
Okay.
Just because summer league, they're probably about 50 games.
Okay. So even better. So if a kid pitches once a week for 4 months, even if he throws a complete game every time out. Now, not something that we would advise to for these kids. He'd still struggle to hit 100 innings. Okay, so that's 16 starts for 7-inning games, 112 innings. Okay, now doing that is super tough to get overuse injuries. That's good, right? Now, what are we missing? Now, so instead, after that, the kid's going to add seasons. He's going to join a travel team, or 6 or 7 of them. He's going to play fall ball so he can rack up more innings every weekend, and then he's going to hit college camps on Saturday and throw as hard as you can in 25-degree weather.
Oh man!
When it's raining or snowing, who knows if you're in the Midwest? And then after that, as soon as fall ball ends, you're going to go to pitching lessons with your coach, and then you're going to get registration for that showcase that's taking place the first week of January. And then the training would be, you know, just do some band work and some half-ass stretches, and you're going to be fine. So. I mean, I know that sounds familiar. some of it, if not all of it. But we can do strength training and mobility work and soft tissue work all we want, but it won't matter if the baseball player is being overused.
Yeah.
So, let's
going off that. So typically, once the new season starts, fall ball ends. It's just ending like this weekend. Then you take a break. Well, I would take a break, but let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So January 2023.
Yeah.
A lot of teams, even in college, they start January 2023. You have your 2 months, 3 months of practice, then games start, right? So you're already 3-4 months in before games even start, right? You have summer ball, travel ball, May, June, July, usually ends in July. You got August, September, then October, So after summer ball, me personally, what I did, after my last game in summer ball, I stopped. I took 3 months off.
In off season.
I did not touch a ball.
Love it.
I didn't even touch a ball. Okay? I just did my thing, whether it's schoolwork, worked out, any of that. Then I would probably pick up a ball after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Then you just rinse and repeat. Mm-hmm. So I'm a huge guy in really stressing of taking a break.
Yeah.
Whether it's even other sports, sure. Obviously we just said that, go play other sports. But if you don't, which is perfectly fine too, rest.
Yeah.
Rest. 3 months, 2 months, even a month, I wouldn't recommend that, but I'd say 2 or 3 months, rest your body, and pick up a ball after Thanksgiving and go back at it again.
I couldn't agree more. It's like, I think this goes for every sport, but like every athlete needs a dedicated off season.
Right.
A time where they just decompress, let their body rest, re-energize for the upcoming season before they get back into it. Like they need at least 2 months off to kind of get their body back to where 100%.
Now, when you guys are saying off, they don't. Now these kids don't go. I don't want them to go home and just watch.
Not eating Twinkies and sitting on the couch.
Watch Netflix and stuff like that. So I don't think off. I think they should be, maybe working on their weaknesses, getting stronger, getting faster, all that kind of stuff in a structured strength and conditioning atmosphere. Maybe doing like light,
away from the baseball.
Getting away from baseball.
From baseball. Do the other stuff. Work out, like you mentioned. Like
work out. Honestly, even a lesson here or there. Once a week. Once a week, then leave it there. You're not overdoing your body or anything like that. But just the strenuous, whether it's fall ball, because I've seen it just this year. They have three practices a week, then 2 games on the weekend. That's still 5 out of 7 days. That's insane. Still, just after a summer season where. From summer season to fall ball is probably like a 3-week time period of off time.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
It's just like I said, I never played fall ball. I think I maybe did one time, and I was gassed. And you just have to let your body
gas. By gassed, you mean like burnt out?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And burnout starting earlier and earlier also. It's like early sports specialization, kids are starting at an earlier age, but kids are getting burnt out earlier in age as years go on.
Right, and then if you get burnt out, I don't want to play next year.
You lose your love for the game.
Exactly. And that's like I've seen even in high school, where this kid, he's got some talent, and he gets burnt out, whether it's from maybe parents, or
coaches.
Coaches.
So that's huge right there. And we're gonna talk about.
No, go ahead.
So I think finding a coach that you trust and believe in, will help set you up for success as an athlete. And that doesn't mean to kind of program hop for a travel baseball kid either. Like if your kid is not playing, find a way to have them earn the playing time. See what they need to do to improve. Develop a good relationship with the coach. Trust the coach. And then if that doesn't work out, then maybe it's time to just kind of switch. So I think the trust factor and with the coach that has the track record, that has the experience, is super important with the team.
And even going off that might be a little off topic, but whether it's a good coach, really knows his or her stuff, but even outside of baseball, like, hey, how's your weekend? How's life? How's the family? Especially in high school.
Someone that genuinely cares about you.
Like, hey, how's school going? You do your homework today? What'd you get on the paper? All that, like, that's what I grew up as, how I was coached, and that's what I even want to instill in my players as I coach. And I even do it at DuPage. I don't give lessons. I just run the show. I'm like, hey, how was school today, bud? Oh, it was okay.
And
classic
it
response.
was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
One word
It was
answer.
good.
But that goes farther than you think.
Exactly. It's building the relationships.
And it goes farther than you think, because we have an athlete Tommy Menchaca, who says he loves going to Garrett. So I know you're not talking BS right now about asking how kids are doing.
I just saw him yesterday.
Tommy says he loves going to you and loves getting coached by you. So it's like, it's honest feedback he's giving us right now.
Yeah, and it's because you have a relationship with them. You ask them more about just, fix your form here.
Yeah.
It's, relationships, conversations, that goes a long way.
Someone you trust and enjoy being around.
Exactly.
It's big for being a coach.
100%. So now, we did cover a lot. There was should baseball players have an off season? And we kind of just discussed that.
Yeah.
I want to bring in a quote from Eric Cressy. So Eric Cressy, I was telling you before we started, you know who Eric Cressy is. He's the head strength and conditioning coach for the New York Yankees. Owns 2 gyms out in Massachusetts and Florida. And he has a quote. I want to talk a little bit about it. So we kind of covered it, but I want to just say it. So he says, a suggestion for high school baseball players, youth baseball players: take the money you're going to blow on fall and winter showcases and instead spend it on food, training, books, and charity. If anything is left over, buy lottery tickets, because which will have a higher return on investment than November through February showcases.
Yeah.
Now this is Eric Cressy still talking. We have MLB players who are almost 2 months into offseason, but yet little Johnny is still attending tryouts for 10U travel ball. It's absurd, he says, that some skeletally immature baseball players have longer competitive seasons than pro athletes. Like that's Eric Cressy right there.
He hit it right in the head.
Yeah.
It's truly crazy that whether it's not necessarily parents, but just programs in general or leagues that just promote it, would want to money grab. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kinda that's a touchy subject.
Exactly.
Because I'm in that business.
Yeah, totally.
But travel ball, I've seen travel organizations, really good ones, have 3 teams at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
They have different levels at that team, right?
Let's say 12U, 3 teams.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Too much.
That's too much. Like, hey, you're a really good program, but if you're on that 3rd team per se,
what's the talent you're playing?
And now there's 3 leagues in travel ball, single A, double A, and triple A. And that's even a little bit difficult too. Everything is good competition in travel ball. I do agree with that, because if you're good enough to go play travel, go play travel ball.
Totally.
But at the same time, it is a little watered down.
Oh, absolutely.
And a money grab from these programs. So I tell parents to be aware of it, just because, hey, you go play for so and so team, they have an awesome reputation.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get
Mm-hmm.
with each level and each team.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a real slippery slope of the talent at each age group.
100%.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm going to make this one. So it's like, if it's easier to be seen and discovered now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've always had
social media and all that.
Social media, whatever it may be. You could inbox a coach, a professional. You could inbox a college coach on Instagram right now. You can send them a DM and be like, so you could. People are so easily accessible. If you are good, they will find you. I will say that. I said that when I was playing. I said that. I say that now. If you're good, they'll find you if you put the effort to put yourself out there.
Right.
So that's important.
Yeah, if you don't believe it from us, believe it from Eric Cressy, who's someone who's worked with some of the best baseball players of all time.
Yes.
It's like these travel teams and these showcases. It's honestly a bunch of nonsense to a certain extent. Travel's awesome. It's going to put yourself out there and give you that full year-round experience. But the showcase is where it kind of gets sketchy. It's
with the showcases, it's good and bad, you know, where it, like you said before, where hey, you're going to a showcase, you're stretching, you're doing that pre-workout stuff for what, 10-15 minutes, and then you're going to go throw your hardest into a net. Now, let's say you throw 85 miles per hour, then you're going to run a 60-yard dash. You run a 7 flat, and then you throw off a crow hop and from the outfield, let's say 92. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you're doing. What you're paying for is numbers. You're not getting better. You're just there to see college coaches. You know, college coaches come to see you, which is awesome because it's all one setting. So of course they're going to come. You know. But at the same time, just numbers. If you are good enough, which, you know, a lot of people are, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you know, that's a huge thing now. If you are good enough, post video, you know, I've seen like Uncommitted or whatever, a bunch of tags, and coaches will find you. I could promise you that. It happened to me. You know, coaches, if you are good enough, coaches will find you.
And there's a spot for you somewhere.
Exactly. Yes. 100%.
Regardless of the level, you'll fall in, you know.
Oh, that's another thing. Regardless of the level, JUCO, NAIA, D1, D2, D3, believe me, it does not matter what level that you play at. Okay, I played Division III at Aurora University. We won, I think, 68 games in 2 years. I had 3 All-Americans on my team, and I remember the first year that we made the playoffs, we were playing Stevens Point, and that team had 3 draft picks alone. From Wisconsin, Stevens Point. I don't even know who that team was until I showed up.
First time I heard it was right now.
One with the Red Sox, or 2 with the Red Sox, 1 with the Nationals, 4, and then 1 with the White Sox.
Oh man, sweet.
Yeah, it was insane.
I think every kid has a dream of going to like that Division I school, but especially in baseball, like going to those JUCO schools. How often do you see kids get drafted out of a JUCO school? You know,
that's the beauty of it. You know, where basketball it's a little harder. You know, football it's a little harder, but with baseball, if you're a Division III pitcher and you just develop late, you know, and you throw 92, 93, you're gonna get looked at by someone.
Absolutely. I like that, especially if you develop late. You'll probably you probably wouldn't have that many innings underneath your belt.
Exactly.
If you're
whether it's injury before or you know, a good example is one of my best friends. He was 5'11", 130 pounds. Made the freshman B team. Probably threw like 58 miles per hour. Okay. By his senior year in high school, he was throwing 88 to 92, and he was 6'4".
Damn. Wow.
And now
exactly.
And then he went to be the number 1 at Edgewood College, which is a Division III school.
That's what's up. I like it. So now, what does a successful week of training and lessons look like to a baseball and softball player? If you were drawing it up, what would it look like?
You know, a successful week, I would say.
Let's say off season.
The perfect plan.
Perfect plan.
Me personally, like if you're really striving to get better, I'd say once or twice a week. You know, really work on
like 30-minute lessons or half-hour lessons, or.
I would go. If you go an hour lesson, I would split it up. But again, that's just it depends on the player. You know, some could handle hour of fielding, hour of hitting. I would not recommend an hour of pitching unless you're just doing like workouts before. You know, one of our coaches, Tom Coletti, when he does hour pitching lessons, he does a lot of band work or a lot of core exercises before, like for 20 minutes.
Great,
you know,
great.
and then you get into your throwing program and then you work on stuff. You know, so I've seen that and he's awesome because he's made it to AAA.
Sweet.
And so he knows
what it takes.
He knows what it takes. And but if you want to do an hour a day, whether it's half hitting, half fielding, awesome. You know, once a week, twice a week. More than that, I would probably stay away from.
Of course.
But once or twice a week, you know, whether it's an hour or 2, go for it.
Cool. Yeah.
I'd highly recommend that.
What else would you throw into this perfect plan besides just lessons?
I mean, I'm working out in your whether 3 times every day, 3 times a week, whenever, you know. Obviously, keeping up with school, you know, you have to being able to balance life.
Student athlete,
Exactly. Being a student athlete, especially in high school and college, but just taking care of your body, because now that I'm getting old, I feel it. I told you before, I told both of you, I'm feeling it now, but because I didn't take that great of care of my body when I was in college or high school. High school was a little bit better, but you have to do that, just not for then, but for your future as well.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And you touched on it there. It was like the working out part is like take care of the strength and conditioning side of things.
Yeah.
If you want to have a long career,
Year round.
Yes.
Yeah.
Year round.
Yes.
Like even if you're in season, finding a way to maintain one time a week of strength training, even throughout your busy schedule, that will help. That's a whole different podcast for itself. But that will help not only maintain your strength, but it'll help separate you from the competition and get you better than you were. There's kids that stop working out when baseball starts, but the kid that does continue to work out on a structured program, they will continue to see results in the gym and on the field.
Yes.
And the athlete who stops working out, they're going to regress.
Yeah.
So we've
They're gonna
seen
feel better.
We've seen
feel
it.
better.
Yeah.
We've seen it. So that's
Faster, stronger.
Yeah.
The arm's gonna last longer. You're not gonna get as much elbow pain, shoulder pain.
Less injury.
Yeah.
So now, before we round it off here, this is I've heard this. I've seen this. I know you've seen it many times too. But I'm not even in DBAT. But like, I went to a game to watch one of the kids play a baseball game. I didn't know the kid who said this, but he's like, I got this new bat. I forgot what it was called. I got this new bat, and the other kid was like, "Oh my God, you got that bat!" Like they got awesome equipment. This kid had the newest gloves, newest bat. But do you think the bat helped him hit? Like, so would you rather, like, so you have $2,000 to spend for the year, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Would you spend it on? This is a kind of an obvious question. Would you spend it on lessons and training, or the best equipment and a travel team?
Yeah. The theme of the podcast. Obviously, I go lessons and training because me personally, I had an Easton glove.
Yeah.
Maybe $90, and then as I got better, whether it's working out, or just going to training, getting lessons. I remember I started getting lessons when I was 12, and I got them for 2 years with a guy named John Peacock. And I still, like I said, I play still, and I still apply those lessons to my game today.
And to your own coaching.
And to my own coaching,
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, like, lessons and training will get you there, and then once you're committed, once you're basically there, good enough, whether it's high school, then the good equipment, then
you gotta earn it.
Yeah, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
I bought my own Pro
Yeah.
Preferred glove when I was 14, freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh sweet, I'm gonna buy this glove. Let's see, and then freshman year I got called up to sophomores. Sophomores stayed there, and then played junior and senior year on varsity. So, and that glove lasts forever.
Oh, yeah.
So a little plug in there.
Yeah.
Get
that DBAT.
Discount code hustle.
Leave your comments below.
But once you train and work at your game, then the really good equipment can come.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Good equipment and getting noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're good enough, they'll come. Going back to that.
Absolutely. Anything you want to add?
No.
No?
That's it, man. The equipment ain't gonna make you a better player.
No.
It'll look cool. It'll
Yeah.
look awesome. But I had a dad tell me, or come another day, sometimes it's the arrow, or it's not the arrow, it's the Indian.
Yes.
100%.
So
That dad knows
he
what's
was
up.
talking about his son. I'm like, well, yeah, it's nothing. I'd love to sell you a bat, but I'm perfectly honest with parents, whether sizing the bats and just how much is it really going to help you. Of course, it'll help.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So now, do you have any advice for parents or athletes? I mean, or baseball players who want to speak to whoever?
Yeah, I mean, athletes in general just gotta keep grinding. Especially at a young age. I think I'm a pretty good example, in my opinion, because when I was a travel ball in my early years, I was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was pretty good. And like I said, I wasn't the hardest worker in the gym.
Yeah.
And I got caught up too, you know. And sometimes that's going to happen, you know. And I talk about it with my friends all the time. Like, it happened to me, and I deserved it. You know, I still got to play college, which was awesome. You know, but I was definitely not better than what I could have been. You know, and if you take a day off, if you take a practice off, if you take a rep off, coaches will notice. I've been there. You know, both coaching and playing. Balance school life, balance social life. You know, be good. You know, stay out of trouble. Get good grades, because you get good grades, coaches will notice that too. You know, because it helps teams.
They'll trust you too.
Yeah, they'll trust you. You know, so I would just say you really have to just focus on yourself and don't take a day off, because if you do, there are plenty of other athletes that will catch up to you.
Yeah.
And and then with parents, I say, let your kid play. Go to the game, watch, just watch.
Don't coach.
Don't coach, you know, don't say anything to the umpire. You know, if your kid comes by you, you know, whether to talk or to say anything, sure, you know, go for it. Talk to him or her. But don't seek them out, don't seek the coach out after practice or a game. Let your kid be a kid. Let them experience the highs and lows of baseball, softball, football, basketball, all that. All right, because, you know, like we talked about earlier, it could drain them, mentally drain them, physically drain them.
Totally.
And they might not want to play anymore the following year or something like that. So saying is the same. Let them be a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and just support them. You know, sometimes tough love is good. You know, but in the end, I'm a big proponent of just, hey, if I don't have kids, but if I had a kid and he went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, I'm not going to yell at him.
No.
You know, I'm going to support them and be like, hey, let's go batting cages. Let's work on something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all right. So I think that is huge for parents, because sometimes they could get lost in whether it's the game or just in living vicariously through their kid. Honestly, you know, because coaches do that.
See it all the time.
Coaches do that because I can't play anymore. You know, so I'm trying to coach you how I played or how I want you to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
You know, and I think more parents need to know and learn that, because it could affect your kid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was
great.
That was a great mic drop right there. Now we're going to round it off. Where could they find you? If people want to go to find Garrett, where are they going to find Garrett?
DuPage.
Yeah.
270 West North Avenue, Suite 23, North Park Plaza, in the back of the building.
Yeah, he's there all day, almost every day.
Yeah.
You can find him there, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Jonathan, thanks for being here. Garrett, thanks for being here.
This
and guys,
awesome.
and thanks for hustling. Have a great day.